Yay! Hello, everyone. Yes, today is the full moon. Yay! Hello, hello, hello. Full moon, full moon. Hi, Rowena. Hi, Sherry. Dory. Hello. Hi, Ben. How is everyone tonight? It is Tuesday. It's a Tarot Tuesday again. Hi, Hexen. I have missed everyone. I feel like I've been away forever, even though it hasn't been too long, but here we are. Yep, tonight is the full moon. It's the full cold moon. Burr, and tonight I'm feeling it. I have like a blanket and a half on my lap because burr, I'm cold today. And we are doing the Judgment card today, which is a great card to do. It's one that a lot of people have a very hard time reading, so it's a good one to do. Hey, Owl's Perch. Indigo Sky, hello. Hi, Heidi. Thank you. I have pink on underneath. I have layers to try to keep myself warm. I've been cold all day. It's just one of those days. Full moon, and boy, it is gorgeous to look at and not see the city lights. Yay! Hi, Court. Rain turned my router off. Oh, no. Oh, Rain, little sweetheart Rain. She's so cute. So, yes, it is the full moon tonight. So, light a candle, go out and take a look at it. It's really gorgeous. It is Tarot Tuesday. We are doing a fabulous card. It's one of the last major arcana cards. And it's a card that a lot of people have a really hard time reading when they're pulling for other people or even themselves. Are you feeling better on your meds? Yes! Yes, I am. I was just talking to someone who has, ADD issues like I do. We were talking about meds, and I said, it's funny, I'm trying to not immediately go back to the dose that I was on before, even though my doctor gave me that dose. But it's really hard knowing that I have that amount that I can go to. I'm trying to do half of what I used to do. I'm getting 2 pills a day, but I'm trying to only take 1 a day. And it's hard. It's even though I thought, for sure it would take me a while to build back up, but I don't know if it's a mental thing. Like, I know I have that amount there. It's one, I don't know. I'm going to probably end up going back up to my 2 pills shortly, because by the time like 2 or 3 o'clock comes around, I'm like kind of spent. Like, I'm exhausted. I've been sleeping a lot more with my pills than I used to without, because I'm so tired. Like, by not taking that second pill, by the end of the day, I'm wiped. I am wiped out. I cannot wait to get my butt into bed. So, yes, I need some. Yep, 2 or 3 o'clock. Yep, me too. Hi, Leanne. So it's way better than it was before. I definitely recognize the difference. I will say it's funny, after being on them for years, and I mean years, I have been on them for as long as my third child. When my third child was a toddler who is now 21. I finally was diagnosed with ADD. I was running my own shop. I had a consignment shop in a little town called Prattsburg. And I literally was standing in the middle of the shop with all this inventory, and I didn't know what to do. Like, I could not force myself to do one thing because it was just so overwhelming. And my doctor was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure. Because then we talked about, my problems in school growing up and that kind of thing. He's like, I think you have ADD. So I've been on it for like 20 years on some form of med. And I've noticed after about 10, 15 years, it can make me less patient. I'll say that. Less patient with people. It can make me aggravated sometimes. Did you just say Plattsburgh? Ah, close. Plattsburgh, which is a very tiny little town in the southern tier of New York. But Plattsburgh is a different place. That's in the Adirondacks. Yay! Meds work differently for different people. Yeah, sometimes you have to have the MD adjust them. Exactly. Yep, absolutely. Hi, Christiana. I still haven't found meds that work and doesn't have side effects that kick my butt. I know. I hear ya. I hear ya. It's tough. Just went out and looked at the moon. Yes, it is a pretty moon. I know. It's about there. So I love to see it in the middle of the night when I wake up about 2 or 3 in the morning. It kind of streams through my window in my bedroom. Looks gorgeous, but I'll go out and look at it when I'm done tonight. That's my home. Yay, Plattsburgh. I hear ya. I've been there. It's a different place for sure than Plattsburgh. But okay. All right, let's get started. Because like I said, this is one of those cards. It's funny. I was just messaging my admins and saying it's full moon. Full moon in Gemini. I want to say Gemini, I think. Hi, Deb. Full moon is beautiful. Yay! Cancer? Must have been Gemini yesterday and it turned into Cancer today. Yes. So, it turned, yeah, I think I remember it was going to turn into that today, Cancer. So this card is one of those major arcana cards that many, many, many people have a hard time really understanding this card. Happy birthday tomorrow. Really understanding this card, really feeling it and being able to read it to other people. So this is a really good card to spend a couple days on. I was telling my admins tonight, I was saying how many cards is too many cards, even though we're breaking this up into 2 parts because it's a major arcana card. There's just so many good cards. And yeah, I have lots and lots and lots and lots of examples. Lots of examples. A ton of examples. So it definitely needs to be a card that's broken up into 2 because there's so many different ways to interpret the card in art that it's a great card to look at some different examples of and help you deepen your understanding. For sure. It's one of those cards that as a pagan, I had a hard time with for a long time. Because if you look at, let's take a look at, this is the regular, what a lot of people see. This is from the Radiant Wise Spirit. This is, Pamela Coleman Smith's art. It's very, very Christianized. It's one of those cards. It's one of the 3 angel cards in the tarot. Along with the Lover's card. And I just had it. The Lovers and fuck. I'll get it again. I think the book says it, as a matter of fact, I'm sure. Temperance. Thank you. Yes, Temperance. So it's one of those cards that as a pagan is kind of hard. It's like a harsh card. At first you're like, ugh, really? This is a very Christianized kind of card, right? It looks like the resurrection. So until you really dive into what the meaning of it is, it was easy for me when I first started to kind of set this card aside and be like, yeah, I don't really care what it says, because I'm not going to allow other people to judge me. I'm not going to allow some angel to blow their horn and decide, if I get into heaven or not. I don't believe in that crap anymore. So it was a hard card to grasp because I didn't want to focus on that kind of a meaning. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what the meaning is and what we can focus on, even though it is one of those cards that you can kind of look at and be immediately turned off by it, right? Kind of a lot of people, the Emperor is one of those cards. This is one of the 3 angel cards here. So the number is 20. Okay? So 2020, very Judgment kind of card. When you look at what kind of year it's been, boy, this does definitely kind of represent that. The astrological sign or planet is Pluto. The element is fire. Key meanings: assessment and letting go of the past. Judgment depicts Judgment Day, prophesied by the Apostle Paul in his letters to the Thessalonians, when the souls of men would be awakened by an archangel's trumpet call and judged before God. The figures may be holding up their arms to embrace the moment of resurrection before judgment. Judgment is a personal wake-up call to consider our past actions. How do we judge ourselves? The archangel who blows the trumpet is Gabriel, and his wake-up call is a moment of revelation. Hi, Amanda. When we can discover the truth of our relationship with ourselves. We also may be awakened to a new relationship with God, with our spirit guides, with the angels, with the universe, with whatever we look to as our higher power. As one of the 3 angel cards of the tarot, along with Lovers and Temperance, Judgment can be a call to spiritual service. In the major arcana sequence, Judgment comes after the Sun card and before the World card. Hi, thou shalt not be named. Hi, Donna. We have reached a sanctuary with the Sun card, a reminder of the paradise of Adam and Eve of the Lovers card. But before we can complete the cycle with the world, we must make some decisions and gain some acceptance about the past. So again, when we talk about the major arcana card, and we'll go into this more when we're done with all the cards, we'll kind of go into the sequence of the cards and why some things are before other things. But we talk about the major arcana as the Fool's journey, and we are the Fool. So we start with the 0 with the Fool card, and we make that journey in life several times over. But we make that journey in life all the way to the World card. And then what happens? Then we begin again as the Fool with some other situation, some other thing going on in our lives, some other reawakening. So once the Sun card comes, the next card is the Judgment card. So before we can move on to the World card to complete the cycle, we must look at the big picture. We must look at our entire journey up until this point and decide, how do we think we've done? How has this journey been for us? Is there something we want to change before completing this cycle? Before the revelation part, before the absolute completion, we have one last chance to kind of take a look at the cycle thus far and decide if there's any changes we need to make before we're done. Right? When the last judgment of man is complete, a new world is created, which the fool will discover when he incarnates once again and begins his journey anew. Judgment's number 20 is composed of 2 tens and implies balancing our past actions. It reduces to the number 2, or 2 in the major arcana cards, the High Priestess, who stands between the earth plane and the world of the dead. Judgment also links with the card 11, Justice, whose number 10 and 1 also reduced to 2. While justice is an external judgment upon us, judgment is how we judge ourselves. Okay, so the difference, if you're pulling the Justice card, the Justice card is about everyone else's judgment of ourselves and our judgment of everyone else. The Judgment card, number 20, is about our own judgment of ourselves, our internal judgment of our journey so far and of how we've handled the journey and how we want to change anything in the future before we move forward. Judgment is internally, yes, and we are our own judge and jury. Exactly. Exactly. At this time, we can reflect on the past, assess our actions, and release the experience so we can move forward. So this is the final time before taking another big step to a completion of an entire cycle we have been through. The final time to look at the entire journey as a whole and say, okay, how did we do? Is there something that I think, way back in the first couple of steps, I wish I had done this differently? Is there something that we can tweak so that we can say, okay, we learned that lesson, and now we're going to complete this cycle, remembering that I wish I had done that one thing differently and be able to move forward. That's a good card to end 2020 with, isn't it? It's a very apropos card to end this year with. For sure. Excuse me. Do not inhale your own spit. It is time to come to a decision about the past. Great changes and opportunities are on the horizon. But before you can decide on your direction, certain past issues need to be addressed. Hi, Cass. So the process is purely about how you judge yourself on your past actions and attitudes. In the upright position, judgment shows you will feel you have acted with integrity and did the best you could. As you accept yourself fully, you can blow your own trumpet and praise yourself for your achievements. An additional meaning is being in the public eye, fame, which is an alternative to the title of the card. I'm starting to rewatch all of these. Yay! Good. This is a good one. For sure. Completely destroyed my mod files. Ah! Their notice made me think they were only going to prevent future notes. Oh no, me too. I just looked at them yesterday, Leanne. That stinks. Let me see. Maybe as an admin, I can look. Thinking what I should have said or done differently. Right. Well, the thing with judgment is knowing that the world card is the next card in our journey. So this is our last chance before we accept what is. Is there anything we want to take with us on the journey to maybe tweak a little bit differently next time and move forward? The next step here will be to move forward, not to get stuck and bogged down in an internal cycle of judgment of ourselves, which can happen very easily. It is very easy to get bogged down in that. So why are they coming out of the coffins, Fatima? Because it's an old painting, right? And it literally shows the resurrection from the Bible. when the dead rise again and are judged, and that's the look at judgment from back in the day. So what we can look at is that we are blowing the trumpet to ourselves. Like, okay, take a look at all the past stuff that we've been through. What do we want to take with us? Is there anything we want to change? Is there anything that we need to look at and maybe tweak before we move forward? Because we're about to move forward. But know that moving forward is a big part of this cycle. You can't get bogged down into the cycle of self-judgment, right? Judgment also predicts a spiritual awakening. So you will see many of the cards that we'll look at are actually called awakening. So, which again, it's funny. Cass and I were just talking about this too. Spiritual awakenings. It's been a year of spiritual awakenings for so many, and we were talking about how, spiritual awakenings. I love the meme out there that says what people think a spiritual awakening looks like. And they have someone like in a yoga position doing Om, very peaceful. And it says what spiritual awakening actually looks like. And it shows someone who's like red-faced and has been crying and sobbing and is rocking back and forth. Ah! That's what spiritual awakening really looks like, right? It's not this easy, quick process. It is a long journey. If you think of the fool's journey, it's a long, hard-fought battle that we are trying to get through to the end before we start a new cycle. So this can portend a spiritual awakening, or that we are at the end of a spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakenings are mentally and physically exhausting. Yes. Please do not pretend you're enlightened to seem cool. Yes, please don't. Please don't. He is on my case about not straightening up. Oh, tell him to hush up. We're in teaching mode. Judgment also predicts a spiritual awakening as you feel called to explore your potential. You have learned much about yourself in this most recent phase, and you are ready to go further, developing your spiritual connection with your guides and angels. As you receive guidance on your path, your confidence and wisdom will grow. Right? So this is the look at the journey we've had. Again, it's important to look to the past and to see what has been laid out before us, what we've been through up until this point, and to decide if there's anything that needs tweaking, to do that, knowing that it's time to move forward into this spiritual awakening. Okay, any questions so far? We'll start looking at some different cards. I won't read from the other two books until next week, since we have so many cards to get through. We're going to break this up into 2 weeks because it's a really important card. This major arcana card here is very important. So that is the typical Rider-Waite-Smith, Pamela Coleman Smith's artwork there showing the resurrection, right? Okay, so let's start. This first card is from the Children of Litha. The Children of Litha deck. Here we have an image of the trumpet again. We have two skeletons that look like wolves. A fox. Yes. Yes. She's wearing a fox headdress. Oh, we have three skeletons around her. And she's holding the fox that has been struck with an arrow. So she is calling for her former self that is at the end of a journey to rise again. She's saying, okay, You know what? There's some things we need to learn about how not to get struck by this arrow, perhaps, would be the first thing that I can think of. And now it's time to start a new cycle, to evaluate what we have been through up until this point and to do better next time, right? And that's part of that evaluation form. They may be fox skeletons, absolutely, showing the different cycles that we've been through already, because we are looking to those past cycles to learn from and move forward. So what does she do? This latest incarnation, she has picked him up and is cradling him. It's okay. It's all right. We don't have to learn everything at once. And so that's a key point of the transformation part of judgment, is to know that we're learning what we have done wrong before so that we can maybe not repeat those mistakes in the future, but we're not too harsh on ourselves. We're saying, okay, good job. You made it this far. And you know what? There are some stumbles along the way, but let's move forward into a new incarnation and learn from our mistakes. What did we do here? What happened that we ended up in this bleeding mess, right, towards the end? Let's do it differently. Let's look at what we did wrong, learn from it, and then take the next step, which is the completion of this journey. So in this case, it may be to bury this incarnation. You know what? That didn't work for us. We're going to bury that and start over again with the Fool. Brand new, spiritual awakening, a new start again. Hi, Karen. So, great card, right? Love it. This one is just what you would expect. If I told you that I was going to show you the Alice Tarot from Baba Studios next, what do you think would be the Judgment card? I'll give you a second because I know you all will get it. The Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts, off with her head, right? She is the ultimate judgment here. And the poor playing cards are the wrath. That's who got the wrath of the judgment of the Queen of Hearts. So look at, I love that she is harshly judging. So we know when we talk about Alice, Alice Through the Looking Glass, Alice in Wonderland, we know that it's Alice's personal journey. And each piece that Alice comes in contact with is a piece of her subconscious, is a piece of herself, or is someone she knows. So the Queen of Hearts is that judgment piece of ourselves that harshly judges those around us. And it's good to look at that too. Off with her head. That's right. Exactly. So that is the Baba Studios Alice Tarot. This is the World Spirit Tarot. The World Spirit Tarot. So, Judgment in the World Spirit Tarot is Anubis. Anubis is the judge in the underworld. He, along with Mayat, will weigh your actions against the feather. And if your actions and the feather are weighed equally, then you are allowed into the good part of the underworld, right? So there's going to be two different kinds of cards that we look at here. Many of these, this is the World Spirit Tarot. Many of these will look at an actual judgment. And remember that it is ourselves we are judging. This is not an external judgment. This is an internal judgment. We are looking at judging ourselves. And so very often the judgment part, the justice almost looking card is no problem, honey. Love you. See you tomorrow. The judgment piece of this card is looking at, yes, I did. Yep, I set up another judgment stream for next week because it's a major arcana card, so it's going to take us 2 weeks to get through it because there's so many cards for judgment that will teach us that we did 2 for most major arcana cards. We're doing 2 weeks. So one type of this card is the actual judgment, and you'll see the other one is that awakening card, and you'll see many times it's called awakening. All right, the next one is from the Lay of 9 Worlds, because Jen loves all cards the most. Yeah, that's right. Especially the major arcana cards, it's really hard to get through with one because there's so many great examples. So many great examples. This is the Lay of 9 Worlds. This is my Norse tarot deck here. And this is Judgment. And this is Skadi. So right on one of the cards for this week is my girl Skadi. And that's why Tarot Night is a great night to drink. Yes, Skadi with her wolf by her side in the snow-capped mountains with her blue hair. Skadi. Hi, honey. And Skadi will be a wonderful judge. She is one who tries to get you to be in love with yourself. To be, she doesn't tell you, though, to accept all your faults. She pushes you to do better for yourself and love yourself anyways, but she pushes you to do better for yourself. She pushes you knowing that you can be the best person you are. So I just love Skadi. I'm in love with Skadi. Yes, right? The North Node on her dress. Isn't that awesome? Skadi is my woman this winter. She's really coming at me hard this winter. And very, very soon, I will be coming out with my Skadi meditation. It's coming along nicely. The Druidcraft. The Druidcraft Tarot. This one is called Rebirth. So we see the Celtic, yep, totally lost it. The Celtic Cairn, that's what it's called. The Celtic Cairn, which is where they have their burials. And the child's coming out of the Celtic Cairn. I managed to postpone a statue purchase long enough to get 20% today. Yay! Newgrange, yep, yes, yep. Exactly, that particular markings and stuff means that it probably is Newgrange. So we have the child with rebirth. So here we go. This is the reincarnation. This is the rebirth, the emerging, yes, emerging from the womb of the Dark Mother. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. and is a gorgeous representation of that rebirth, renewal. Love this one. Druidcraft. Great deck. So another interpretation of that awakening, that spiritual awakening. This is the Chrysalis Tarot as the initiation rite, and the Doored player is the initiator. Ooh, I love that. Beautiful. I could have pulled the book out. I haven't pulled the Druidcraft book out in a long time. I should do that. The Chrysalis Tarot shows the Judgment card as the Phoenix. So rising from the ashes. So again, this is another awakening, another rebirth. We know that the Phoenix at the end of his cycle bursts into flames and is reduced to ash. And then the new Phoenix bird rises up from the ashes to be reborn. Could it be a renewal from the darkness of this present? Oh, yes, absolutely. The deck Jen and I cannot or do not read with. Yep, that's exactly right. I use a lot of, it's funny, I use a lot of these cards for altar cards sometimes. I love the Sun card. I love to use at Litha because it's a beautiful representation of the Sun card. But it is one of those decks that many of the cards are not very Rider-Waite-Smith based. And so I don't read with this one because there's too many of the cards that just don't make sense to me. Some of the cards are beautiful and wonderful, and I get them and I feel them. And a lot of them, I just don't. So I do not read with this deck very much. But I do use a lot of these cards for altar cards a lot. If I'm looking for a rebirth card, I will pull this card sometimes. I use the Sun card all the time at Litha to put on my altar because it's a great Sun card for Litha. Learning from our mistakes, coming out stronger and wiser. Yes, absolutely. For sure. Okay, one of my favorite, and I know, go ahead, you guys can drink if you have them, drink them if you got them. One of my favorite all-time Judgment cards. Is in the Tarot of the Old Path. This card is called Karma. And there's a lot of stuff going on in this card, so we'll give you a second to look at it all. I'm drinking whiskey. Oh, you're going to be drunk by the time you're done. So this card is called Karma. And there is a, see, we have the hooded figure here with the scales of justice. We have the person lying dead, being called to be reawakened, looking through his life. All the things, his marriage, the things he's done in life, all the way back to birth. So looking through your life and making a judgment, an assessment of where you're at in this cycle. The God and Goddess looking on. He is assessing at this point, what do I think, how do I think I've done? From my birth through life all the way to my death in this cycle, where do I think I'm at? Is there anything that I would do differently? Is there anything that I want to change? We know that we are not at this point yet, so we can change the things that we want to before we move on to this next cycle, before the wheel turns again to a new cycle. We can change stuff. We can learn a lesson that perhaps we didn't learn someplace in the midst of this. I just love this one. I think this is a fabulous card. Looking through our life. as it cycles through. Yep. Great, great, great representation. For sure. The Polarkos Tarot, which I'm going to read from this one because I really like the short explanation they give for the Polarkos Tarot. It's spelled like that, just in case any of you need to know. Polarkos. This is the Polarkos Tarot. This one is called Judgment. Polarkos, the eye of every species is on you now, intimating and reflecting. From each, you may glean something different about your endeavor. Forest, leaf, fox, eagle. Here you are embraced by the community of beings. The dialogue deepens, expands. Consciousness will never rest. Call it the seventh dimension if you like, where if you take plants to your brow, they will relay images you can translate to words. Commune, commune. Hold a place for bears and the taciturn woman with hair the color of night. A place for every other language but your own. Yeah. Love, love, love. The Polarkos Tarot. Yet another deck that I absolutely am in love with. The major arcana of this deck. And the ideas that the artist had for the minor arcanas are incredible. But the way she did the minor arcana, to me, it's like she didn't finish them. The major arcana are all these beautiful images, and the minors, it's like she didn't finish the minors. I don't know. That's just me. So I love the majors, though. Nice card, but doesn't seem that judgmental. That's true. Different interpretation for sure. This one is the Stolen Child Tarot. Stolen Child Tarot. So speaking of a chrysalis, right? Here we have the entire cycle from caterpillar to the chrysalis to the butterfly. And now the butterfly is looking back to the caterpillar. And so kind of looking at the whole cycle, right? Just taking a step back, looking for that spiritual awakening, seeing if there's anything she would have done differently. Is there anything new that she wants to take on, perhaps to the next life, to the next incarnation, to the next cycle? Very nice. Yes, please do remember to like the video. We have 34 people and 25 likes. The more likes we get, the more Facebook will share it. Beautiful interpretation. This one is the Celtic Tarot by Christopherson or something. Christoph, what the hell is it? Christoph something or other. Oh, Christoph Hughes. This one is Rebirth. So we see the little baby in the basket. And literally getting the rebirth parts. You see the sun is setting. Or is it rising? Or is it setting? Right? You see the ancestors here are all watching over the rebirth. See just the shadows of the ancestors. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. But the shadows of the ancestors here are watching over the rebirth Is there anything they can contribute, perhaps, to this new cycle? The penis throne deck, exactly. Great interpretation. Cute baby. Oh my gosh. I didn't even look that much. It is a cute baby. Wow. How the heck did somebody make a cute baby? Usually they're all ugly, right? I'm going to save that one for next time. I'm going to save that one for next time. This one will do. This is the Dark Goddess Tarot. So here we have liberation, and this is Persephone. So what a great rebirth story, right? Persephone. She is the one who, right now, during the winter months, is in the underworld with Hades, her husband. And then we should put Rain on tarot because she's so darn cute. And then as spring starts to come, that's when the rebirth happens for her. And she gets to come back up to this realm. She has a rebirth, a new cycle every year at springtime. And her mother, Demeter, then causes the growth to start coming back. That's a pomegranate, exactly. The mermaid deck has a really good judgment. Awesome. I did not pull that one yet, believe it or not. I've got 8 million here, but that isn't one of them. I didn't get a chance to go through. I've got so many here, it's unbelievable, but I will pull it for next time. I have, where's my book? One of my favorites. Go ahead and drink if you need to. My next favorite, of course, is the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. I truly love this card. Love, love, love. This card is the card of an initiation. So this is called Judgment, and we see an initiation. Hi, Thomas. And I love this particular card here. And those of you, you may not understand it. That's why I'm going to read the story behind it here. If you've never been initiated into an actual coven, or if you've been initiated into a coven that doesn't do things that way. Courtney, thank you, sweetie. This is what used to happen all the time when you initiated into a coven. This does not always happen now, and it looks harsh, right? But we'll read this, and hopefully you will understand the meaning behind it a little bit better. The time of initiation was upon her. She who has sat betwixt, unnamed, unseen, in the sanctity of the forest, tended to only by the daughter of the moon. She has not uttered a word, nor partaken in the feasting of flesh for nourishment. She who has been purified for the reckoning. On the night of the winter solstice, the time has come for the ritual to begin. First, she, the nameless, disrobes. Her hands are bound behind her back. Her eyes are concealed behind a blindfold. Complete trust must be given to her careers as her senses are restricted. She is anointed from feet to crown, brushed with aromatic leaves, and led to a sacred place where two streams converge and the will of the goddess is felt. I hear you, Hexen. It's okay. There, beneath an ancient weeping willow, the crone stands sword in hand, ready to hear the vows of the initiate and confer with the gods. It is at this moment, in this place, where every initiate must atone for their deeds. Then and only then can she be given her name and rise as a priestess of the arcane. So exactly, I saw someone say, what in the world? I saw someone say, perfect love and perfect trust. Exactly. You must be able to completely and totally trust your coven, your priestess. And there is a judgment there. Really, does it say no internet? I hope that you're all still there. Weak signal. Present. Oh, good. Well, I can't see you on my computer, but at least you can see me. Good. You must be able to completely trust that your priestess is there to do everything to allow you to grow into the person that you are. And so that is the perfect judgment card. Thank you guys. You guys are too sweet, truly. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Really, truly, deeply. My guess is my husband has started playing games. Which is okay. At least you guys can see me. That's good. Okay. Next. I love this one. It's not one of my favorites, but I love this one. I think there's so much to be gained from an initiation experience. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. There is a huge, I don't know, something happens when you put perfect love and perfect trust into someone else's hands. And when you totally and completely commit to a path that you have been working on, learning about, and learning to love, to then commit to that kind of an initiation, it changes you. For sure. There's something internally that happens there. Thank you. So this is the Slow Tarot. And I want you to look in the mirror here. Robert Bly used to highlight the need for men to undergo it as a lost part of the culture. Ooh, that's good. Starhawk pointed out it's necessary for women too. Yes, absolutely. Yep. So I love, if you look at this woman's face in reality, what we can see of it, she is not this old woman that they are showing in the mirror. The mirror is showing a much older face than what we see from her neck and her shoulders and just her jawline here. And so she is judging herself too harshly. What she sees is every little flaw, and she enhances every little flaw until she sees this older woman with wrinkles and no smile and, you know, not at all what we are seeing on this side, right? And so it teaches us to be less judgmental, to see the reality, the truth in what is actually there, not to look at every flaw and enhance every flaw. It's very easy. If I wanted to be harsh on myself, I could look at, you know, my 16 chins, or I could look at this piece that I don't like or whatever. But you instead look at the whole picture and look at yourself through other people's eyes and see yourself as the beautiful person that you are. Committing to new connections and what they mean, yes. I'm going to close Facebook here and see if I can get anything to load on this. There it is. Look at that. It's about time. I was going to go restart my damn internet soon. Well, of course, I have to watch a commercial before I can get there. Skip. Yay. Okay. Live chat. Here we go. Committing to new connections. Yes. Courtney, hush up your mouth there, Missy. Galina Kraskova said that if it was up to her, she'd give kids a knife and send them off to the woods to survive and undergo their own initiation. That's funny. We are our own worst critics. Yes, absolutely. And so, ooh, well, good luck, Rowena. That's wonderful. We definitely are our own worst critic. And part of the judgment card is learning to see ourselves in a better light, learning to look at ourselves as other people see us. If you see yourself in the light of all the love that you give back, you'll see a much different picture in the mirror. Much different. Promise. All right. How many cards do we have left? I probably should keep going. Are you guys good for a few more? How are you feeling? It's been almost an hour here. We could keep going for a few. Got my Scullies out in the moonlight. Ooh, nice. Yay. Totally fine. Helps that I arrived late. Can you dig out the Mermaid Tarot? I can think about it. I'll do it next week because we're doing the same card next week. I promise I'll dig it out next week. I've got a lot of cards here in front of me. So, yes. Okay. Let's do Everyday Witch. The Everyday Witch Tarot. This is called Judgment. I love that she is tooting her own horn. Okay? She is playing her own music. She is ready and willing and able to move forward into a new awakening and loving it. I love that she can call herself to the little amount of judgment that she feels she needs. Love that card. Love it, love it, love it. True Black. Once again, the amount of light in this card. Yes, absolutely. And call back to the Fool because the journey is almost over and we're almost beginning again, right? For sure. So we'll do a close-up and then I'll get the book out and read because he does really well with this one. See the... Thank you, Amanda. You guys! Thank you. You guys are too sweet to me. You know I don't do this for money, but I do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. All right. A menacing being strides through the clouds. One hand points to the accused while another readies a long spear. For sinners, the time of reckoning has come. Judgment, though, must be enacted across all beings alike, including the judge herself. A third hand clutches a ring of thorns, a symbol of penance for past wrongs, while a fourth hand gestures towards a healing wound, the closure and forgiveness of misdeeds repaid. Though referencing an apocalyptic end time, the Judgment card more often calls for a moment of clarity, What people, projects, or things are deserving of your time and energy? Have you returned this relationship in kind? Extraneous entities that are of no benefit or have only caused harm should be stripped away and barred. It's because you are kind without question. You are appreciated. Oh. Shh. Thank you. Truly. You guys, I'm not gonna get all verklempt. You guys are very good to me. I do this because I have the soul of a teacher. I love to teach. And so when it's stuff that I'm excited about, I love to make other people just as excited as I am. So I'm glad to do it. And I appreciate you. I learn from you just as much as you learn from me. Always. All right. Hush, Amanda. You peoples. I got up. Don't cry. I'm not crying, you're crying. This is the Hillbilly Tarot. All right, love fest over here, people. The Hillbilly Tarot, this is Revival. I love this card. I think this is an amazingly hilarious deck. And I love that the Revival brings us all into the church, and I can hear the preacher saying, come on, y'all, you all need to be saved. Yes, snake charming church, yes. I just realized I donated the top of my Druid Animal Oracle box, but not the deck or book or the bottom. Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry. See, Mama, you've touched so many lives already. I thank you for bringing a lot of us together. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't know Mikey or anyone else. Ah. Well, I love you guys just as much. And I'm honored to be here to facilitate everyone else, this community coming together. I love that. Looks like the deck decided I'm keeping it. Apparently the deck was like, hell no, you ain't giving me away. So Revival. Okay, one more, and then we'll end for tonight, and we'll continue on, because I do have quite a few cards still here. Again, this is one of my favorite decks, and I know you guys know that. This is the Witch's Insurrection. This card does have nudity, although it's not as bad as other cards or other decks, and this is really only the back end. The Witch's Insurrection deck. So this is called Resolution. Usually called Judgment in more conventional decks, the Resolution card is much more a card of purpose than of judgment. A naked figure kneels with their arms outstretched. A large owl, a bird that appears both in Ishtar mythology and in association with the demon Lilith, flies either towards or away from their hands. Under their feet, small seedlings are growing, symbolizing the awakening that this card represents. More than anything else, the Resolution card is a call to examine where you are, where you need to be, how those things intersect, and how you will reconcile the two, if they need to be reconciled at all. It is a call to leave behind what was in favor of what must be, and to move forward to the next phase, allowing yourself to grow by calling the things you need to and releasing the things holding you back. So Resolution, I love this one. Just it's a gorgeous deck anyways. And thank you, Fatima. And this is one of my favorite cards in there for sure. Put away the shot glass. Easier to take a swig straight from the bottle. All right, and we'll do one more because I usually try to split up the Muse and the Light Seers deck because Chrisanne has such amazing 2 decks that we'll split up. We'll do the Light Seers this week, and the next week we'll do the Muse. So this is, again, go ahead, you might as well take a swig, the last of the bottle. This is the Light Seers deck. Such a great Judgment card. Now this card is truly an amazing card. Look at the symbolism here. Her face. I just adore this one. You have judged others and have been judged yourself, and you are awakening to the understanding that the only approval that really matters is your own. Are you doing your best with others and with yourself? It's time to shed any negative facades. Drop the masks behind the masks. It may feel risky, yet this profound act of self-acceptance will unleash your absolute essence. You are light, shadow, matter, and consciousness, and you are a miracle. You are a miracle. Why then do you keep your true nature hidden away from the world? Why? I'm talking to you out there. Why do you keep your true nature hidden from the world? There is no way to really understand your full potential until you are open and honest with your own heart, without judgment. Without judgment. To expand and evolve requires this colossal forgiveness of the self. Forgive your beautiful soul. Accept your beautiful heart. As you do, you consciously answer the call of your highest self, and the vastness of your horizon will make itself available to you. Hello, Essence. I invite you to show up every day. I invite my soul to shine unapologetically. Hi, Kay. Hi, Witch of the Meadows. Oh, I said hello to you. It'd almost be worth making your own wine or beer just to have a steady supply for when Jen says a card or deck is her favorite. Yes, set yourself free. That's right. This is your true self. Set it free. Set it free. Hi, Fuzzy Kiwi. Okay, so we have been through quite a few cards tonight. We have quite a few more cards left to go. Some of my favorites are still left in here, I must say. Quite a few of my favorites are still here, ready for next time. And I plan on pulling a few more. Yes, I do have Golden Girls. I'll take a look at that one. I bet you it's Sophia. That's my guess, but I haven't looked at it yet. Okay, so next week, next Tuesday, we will be continuing and finishing up the Judgment card. This Thursday, there is no rune study this Thursday because Thursday is New Year's Eve. So we will continue our rune study next Thursday. In the meantime, take a look at the Judgment cards that you own. Look at this being the end of 2020, what it is that you need to let go of. What it is that you'd like to tweak. What do you want to look at differently in the coming cycle? And it's a really great card to end and begin a new year. It's the perfect card, right? Click that like button on your way out. I love you all. I have received new decks for Christmas and Yule. So I will try to come on this weekend for sure and show some new decks and some new, I don't know, just some new stuff that witchy stuff that I got. You know, kind of a show and tell kind of thing. And I love you guys immensely. And I thank you for spending this past year with me again. And I hope that you will continue on with us into the new year, into 2021. And just know that I love you guys. We'll see you next time.